Indeed, what a scary Halloween it is. That's right. Throughout the world, incompetence. That's right. Incompetence and stupidity and evil are all coming together. And so the world is upset because all of those factors have been heightened and coming together in a truly evil trinity. And it's obviously affecting our world today. And even the world that you and I have to work in and deal with. And we really wonder, what is it all going to come to? As we hoped for that it would be a good and a happy ending to finally 23 would say, hey, we're back to a sense of maybe normalcy as we could best want it and expect it. Nope, bad things are happening, and bad things are happening to good people. And so we're going to press on. What I'd like to do today is, of course, do a little change of pace, and then as a result of that, say, maybe there's something that we can learn about our own life, from our own behavior that might be very helpful to us. Right now we need to focus on what we can do and what we can do better to make at least our world and our relationships and our business a little bit better. The rest of the world is very, very much out of our control. So let's see where that leads us today. I'm Stan Houston. The program is Interesting Ideas, and we begin right now. Thank you for your time. On last Wednesday, I talked about we need to honor those people who have performed and risen up and been brave because they're losing things and they're losing things that go into making a good life, and yet they're still practicing the art of winning. And we need to honor those people who have learned the art of losing and certainly still not be losers. Something we can learn from them all. On a Friday, I did just a video cast, and it's going to be repeated on the line today. And this is a fun little presentation, which I think you will enjoy. It's certainly a different approach to the way we should do business. And it is Stop Asking for Referrals. And that is on our video channel and on our send-outs. It's right below. Just check it and check it out. But on a positive note, yesterday at our church, we had a very interesting speaker. And I was given a heads up about it. And I usually make the good programs and presentations. There are so many other things that I certainly can't take advantage of them all. But a gentleman named Dr. Harold Koenig, and Harold Koenig, Koenig, and he is a highly credentialed. I mean, the lady read too much in the introduction because it was so long and full of things. I think she should have just shortened it a bit, but she took the whole story, and boy, it was impressive. Dr. Koenig was there with his wife, who is a partner in his work, and he's a professor from Duke University, and a doctor, and a researcher, and a health specialist. Well, here was the message. He said, faith is the thing that makes life work. Faith is the thing that makes life work, whether you believe it or not. He wrote a little book, which I enjoyed. And it's wonderful. He's written lots of big books, but now he kind of did exactly what I'm now encouraging writers to do, and that is see if perhaps you can take your book and then, just get it down to maybe 70 or 80 or 90 pages, something that can be read easily. And the book is called Nothing More Important, a book about faith. And then I scribbled underneath the subtitle, Because Faith Works. And that's what the good doctor demonstrated. What he demonstrated, study after study, research after research, and those people who always say, well, show us the data, show us the science. And he's had the position that faith makes a difference in your health and in your life. But they say, show us the data. Well, that's exactly what he did in doodles and gobs. And he demonstrated study after study. And it wasn't just necessarily the idea of you embracing the Christian faith, though he said most of the research about this subject has been done in Christian countries. There has been research done somewhat in Israel, and of course there's a significant percentage of the population is of the Jewish tradition. But time after time after time, it was shown, and this was especially true for young people, the people who practiced their religious faith. Now, he said, I don't know all of the things they believe, and they may believe very different things, but they behave in certain ways. Religious people behave differently. Well, the first thing they do is many of them, once a week, get up and they go to their place of worship. And that's what they do. And they do it on a regular basis. And those who do it on a regular basis, and those who at least are seeking in some ways to live out the ideas of how you live and how you treat others and how you don't smoke necessarily and how you don't abuse alcohol. And even those who suffer from genetic depression. And he points out depression is an epidemic in these days. And a lot of it is related in some cases to maybe mental health, which is obviously the shooter problem, but that's happening all over the places. So, in effect, how you practice your faith, how you practice your religious rituals, how you give behavior to your beliefs, how you live your life. And time after time after time, and I'll be happy to just, Google him, Bing him, whatever. Dr. Harold Koenig, Koenig. You'll see a number of books that have been written by him, and then his most recent one. But time after time after time, cancer, depression, addiction, time after time after time, through chronic diseases, chronic afflictions, and all of the things that we go through in life. Now, it doesn't mean that those people are immune to such things, but the point is the incidence of those events is significantly lower among those who practice, behave in a way, live in such a manner of a religious faith, a religious life. They, in effect, know that faith is real and it really works. Faith works. Your life will be better off if you live a life of faith. And of course, today, more and more people are just giving up their faith. Obviously, the lack of faith among some of our young people and younger generation is astounding. And he points that out. But then he also points out that that is part of the reason he believes that the amount of young adult depression, suicide, lack of purpose and meaning, the taking of the stuff that is not good for their health, their flirtation with drugs and all kinds of other means of trying to find something that excites them or gives them energy in life. All of that flows out of people who have less and less faith and hope in their life. Well, that's good news. It means for those of us who want to very much press on with what we think is important, it's just an indication that maybe we'll be allowed a little greater longevity, but even more important, good health or better situations in that longevity. So it was very much a sign of hope. It was interesting to watch the audience, and there were a number of questions, challenging both a number of things, and of course not challenging in the way that they were opposed to it, but challenging as, well, how do we know that? Or where did that come from? Or because this is a university community, the Raleigh-Durham area, research people, a lot of very educated people, wanted to know more about how the studies worked. But it was increasingly obvious that people were at peace. There was a sense of a smile. And so I just wanted you to think about that and perhaps put that in your filter for something to investigate or do. And for those of us who believe in prayer, we truly need to be, as Dr. Koenig said, I pray. I pray a lot. That's what I do. I sit still and pray. I listen. And that's part of the reason I have the life and energy that I do. We are truly in a bad way. I even noted just in the last couple of weeks, even in our wonderful little community here in the Raleigh-Durham area, and I mentioned it. I said, boy, the amount of sirens we have been hearing lately is up, 3 o'clock in the morning, siren. Sunday morning, sirens. Of course, that happens. It's a busy community. But it just seems right now that both in our local community and obviously in our world is it's a time for sirens. And perhaps that's an indication that many of us should be doubling down on our optimism, our hope and prayers, doing exactly what I'm trying to do, bring more value into the life of my clients and customers, try to figure out ways to do better things for them. That will be something that I can control and something that you can control. You can have that control. You won't have control, obviously, over how they respond, but as someone pointed out, your attitude is not just what happens to you. That's about 10% of it. Your attitude is 90% of how you respond to it. So I just, at these 15 minutes, want to close it up and say, we'll be on the air on a regular basis this week, hopefully thinking about how we can live better in our messed up world, how we can think better, and then also how we can just simply have more peace of mind in a world that has gone profoundly mad. Lord, bless us and keep us, everyone. I'm Stan Husted. Till next time soon. Bye for now.
'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight.